fighting for. I will give you everything and more.
Welcome to Healing Energies with Empress Shey, where we tune into frequencies of truth, clarity, and renewal. Take a deep breath and ground yourself. And let us uncover what Spirit is saying to the collective. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. We'd like to know the energies for the collective today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. We have the hanging man. And the Two of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. Oh, and the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords. The Hierophant. And the Three of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Ten of Swords. The King of Pentacles. And underneath we have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. All right. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, this is a beautiful pull. This spread feels like a deep transition from mental strain to mastery, guided by faith and heart. We're going to start with the energy underneath, that overall energy. The energy underneath sets the tone. The Knight of Cups brings emotional renewal, intuitive guidance, and a soft pursuit of purpose. It's the heart saying, "Follow me," even if your mind does not yet understand. In this season, it may invite gentle courage to act from emotional truth rather than fear. This isn't punishment, it's preparation. The Nine of Pentacles shows that the period of surrender is actually cultivating independence, spiritual maturity, and material stability. And the message of this first row is, from the pause and the pain comes self mastery and personal abundance. And then as we look at row 2, we have mastery in motion. There's that Eight of Pentacles again, that working to show yourself approved, that working it out, working to mastery. That Eight of Pentacles. The Eight and the Three of Pentacles highlight your dedication and willingness to refine your craft or your work, refining what you do, just getting to be an expert at it. The King of Pentacles crowns this effort, signaling that what you've been building is about to stabilize into tangible results. And this message says keep working, keep aligning, and trusting that your skill is becoming your legacy. And then with row 3, we have balance, belief, and release. Here, Spirit asks you to balance the practical with the spiritual. The Two of Pentacles shows juggling responsibilities or choices, but the Hierophant grounds this by reminding you that faith and divine order hold the key. The Ten of Swords marks the end of a mental struggle, the final release of the old stories that no longer fit. And the message here is that you're learning to move in rhythm with the divine, not against it. So this spread is a story of surrender. Surrender, refinement, and elevation. You're being reshaped for greater purpose, learning that even through struggle, your consistency and faith are crafting your legacy. Your consistency and faith are crafting your legacy. The Knight of Cups reminds you to keep your heart open as your material and spiritual worlds harmonize. And we're going to look at the planetary alignments that support this. I'm going to start with row 1. So, I'd like to talk about the planetary alignments because we're talking about energy. And the energy is created in so many ways, but especially from our planetary alignments. We have a satellite up there, the moon, that makes its way and transits and changes. And as the moon changes, the tide changes. It just moves in so many miraculous ways to really assist us. So I just really love to talk about the planetary alignments because it's very relevant, very relevant. So with the first row, the theme of suspension, mental growth, mental anguish, and independent maturity and reward. Mercury is in Scorpio, and it intensifies mental emotional processing. Okay? It intensifies mental emotional processing. It helps bring hidden truths to light. Good for working through the Nine of Swords energy. and supports the deeper inner shifts of the hanging man. This transit encourages you not to stay on the surface, but dive in and confront what's been suppressed or causing anxiety. This transit, it helps you to confront what's been suppressed and causing anxiety. These sleepless nights, that energy from mental anguish, that Mercury in Scorpio is it intensifies mental emotional processing. So it's allowing you to dive in and confront what's been suppressed or causing anxiety. And then Pluto, station direct, also reinforces transformation. It suggests that what's been brewing underground in that mental, emotional, collectively, is now starting to surface and move outward. This supports the shift from suffering and reflection to emerging stronger and more grounded. So it supports, let's talk about that. It does support and encourages the shift from suffering, from that suffering and reflection to emerging stronger and more grounded. And then the Aries full moon eclipse energy. That Aries full moon eclipse energy points towards a release of identity and fear, sometimes harshly but necessary for moving onward. That kind of closure ties into moving out of a mental trap and into spiritual reorientation. Moving out of a mental trap into spiritual reorientation. So the takeaway for that role is the cosmos is strongly supporting the inner work. The cosmos is strongly supporting the inner work, mental awakening, and eventual emergence of self reliance. The tension is high, but the potential for awakening is also high. And that's that energy. That's how it relates to the planetary alignments. And then with row 2, the theme is skill, the skill, collaboration, and mastery. Stability, material success. Jupiter entering Cancer brings abundance, emotional support, and protective energy. It keeps it helps ground your work. So Jupiter entering Cancer, it brings abundance, emotional support, and protective energy, and it helps ground your work into something more nourishing. To the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. The theme is skill, collaboration, mastery, stability, material success. And Jupiter's in Cancer. It brings abundance, emotional support, and protective energy. It helps ground your work efforts in something more nurturing. This transit supports growing your craft or your work with heart and building something that lasts. Mercury and Mars. The next alignment is Mercury and Mars conjunction and aspects, especially in Scorpio. Add intensity to communication efforts and ambition. You may find you're driven to refine your work. Get clearer about your value and assert yourself more forcefully in your field or collaborations. So you might find yourself um, being driven to refine your work, just become a workaholic for a period here, and getting clearer about your values. You might find yourself asserting yourself more forcefully in the field with collaborations. And then Pluto, another alignment that supports this role is Pluto going direct in Aquarius. Also means collective systems are shifting. This could mean changing fields, new methods, or new structures in how you do work. The King of Pentacle energy, that's a leadership energy. It's leadership and stability and abundance. That King of Pentacle. It's aligned to benefit if you're adapting rather than resisting. So stop resisting. Just go with the flow, like the hanging man. Go with it. Go with it. Don't resist. Just flow with it. And you'll find yourself become more aligned and it'll benefit you. Okay, and the takeaway from that is the sky is offering fertile ground for your skills, your collaborations, and your material ambitions. There's momentum available, especially if you lean into emotional integrity and grounded efforts. And then when you look at row 3, that 2 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Swords, we see juggling choices, faith and structure, and ending surrender. With Saturn retrograde in Pisces nearing its station direct, there's pressure to reconsider structures, responsibility, and how belief systems are built or enforced. This aligns closely with the Hierophant's theme of tradition, faith, and law, and spiritual structure. And then we have another alignment, and that is Rahu and Saturn conjunction. It hints at karmic realignment, especially with structures, desires, ambitions, and spiritual work. This improves the ideal work through tradition and personal transformation. The lunar eclipse in Aries also forces endings and new beginnings, triggering the Ten of Swords energy. That sharp release outdated stories, identities, or pain. It helps cut the tension of indecision with the Two of Pentacles and push towards resolution. Jupiter in Cancer, again, brings emotional healing and safety, giving you spiritual strength to navigate endings and new commitments. So, the takeaway for row 3 is there is a strong cosmic push to end what doesn't serve, to choose wisely, and to rebuild faith and structure from a deeper, more honest place. This isn't easy, but it's fertile for real transformation. And the underlying energy, the Knight of Cups, it's all about intuition and emotional drive and following the heart. Well, that Mercury in Scorpio and Pluto going direct both support inner knowing, emotional truth, depth, and revealing what's hidden. This, these energies, the Knight of Cups call to follow the heart even when shadows loom. And then Jupiter in Cancer offers emotional abundance, protection, and possibilities that heeding your intuition leads to care and growth, not just risk. The eclipse, retrogrades, and shifting outer planets all emphasize transformation, release, and rebirth, aligning with the Knight of Cups. Journey towards emotional integrity and purpose. So, how does the cosmic pattern reinforce this spread? Mental and emotional healing and awakening in row 1 is strongly activated now. You're being pushed to look inward, question, release, and grow. Work mastery, structure, and material stability in row 2 are not just possible, but energetically supported, especially if you do the internal work first. And decisions, spiritual alignment, and endings in row 3 are being demanded. There's less wiggle room to stay in limbo. You're being asked to pick, release, and commit. The Knight of Cups energy is not just encouraged, it's amplified. The stars seem to want you to let emotion, intuition, and inner calling guide you through transition. Let emotional, intuition, and inner calling guide you through transition. And this has been Empress Shey, wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Stay aligned and stay on purpose. And don't forget to love yourself. Have a wonderful day.